Hey y'all, Board Game Rancher, where you'll find everything solo tabletop gaming and more. And I'm going to do a little demo here for you, a little solo play action of Ginkopolis. So you can see for yourself if it's something you might like or not. I actually like this quite a bit. I did a review, you can check that out up above there. But as of the recording of this, I've not really seen anybody do a solo playthrough. So I do play a little differently. I'm going to show you a little something different. So you're going to be playing against Hal, represented by this colored marker. And normally you'd have a setup here that's very static, but I do things a little different. A little quick rundown of the game. It's a city building game. We're going to be placing tiles on top of these tiles and expanding out in the different letters. Like if I draw an F card, it'll allow me to expand, place a tile there. But if I draw a red 2 card, it'll allow me to build on the red 2 tile. And you're going to be drawing a hand of 3. You have to pick one card out of that. Hal is always just going to draw one card and is always going to build a tile either out or up. And you'll score points along the way, but at the end, the game ends once one of us has placed all of our markers out on the tiles, as you shall see, or if the tiles run out. And each round, I always start as the first player. That's the gist of it right there. But normally you would start out, and there's 3 different resources, or I don't know, 3 different things you can get. And that is, you can either get more tiles, you can get more markers, or you can get victory points. And those are represented by the colors out here. So these red tiles give you markers. So you can they're kind of in the shape of a marker. You don't get the number on there. I'll explain that in a second. Or you get tiles, represented by the blue squares, or you get victory points, represented by the fancy shape here. So when you start solo, normally you just get 6 of each thing. So I'd get 6 markers, 6 victory points, and 6 tiles. But I like to play a little different. This is, when you play multiplayer, you actually get to pick like a set of cards, or there's sort of this drafting thing that determines what you get. And I like to play it that way. So I just take a D6, I roll it, and I pick that set of cards. And mind you, this is just my way of playing it. It's not official or anything. But what it does is gives me a cool little tableau start here. And I just pick these resources, I pick this starting stuff here. So I'm going to get 5 markers and some victory points and some tiles. And then Hal and I are going to be ready to go. And I'm going to play Hal on expert. So let me just finish setup here and we'll get rocking. All right, there we go. So this is also a little tableau builder. And so now whenever I take this is the build out action. There's 3 actions you can take: build out, build up, which I kind of went over, or you can discard a card and you get a little bit for that too. And this is a discard power. So I'll get a marker whenever I discard a card, along with whatever the card would give me. So we start playing. This deck is made up of a card that represents all these tiles and all these letters to start with, and then I flip over, you discard random 7. You always do that, so you never quite know what's going to come up or where you'll be able to build. But every turn starts off the same. We draw 3 cards for me. We draw 1 card for Hal. I always put a tile on Hal's card because always builds a tile. Now I get to decide here if I want to build out on K or L, or if I want to build up on 3. Well, the 2 tiles that I drew to place are these red ones. So I'm probably not going to build on 3, especially too because I've got these build out. If I build on, one of these letters, kind of denoted shorthand by this little symbol here, then I get this extra goodies stuff here. So I'm probably going to build out on K or L. And depending on what I build out, you activate the building next to it. So if I activate this one, I'm going to get 1 blue tile. If I activate this one, I'm going to get 1 victory point. You just get the number of whatever it is that it produces is represented by this stack of tiles there. You just count the tiles. Well, right now everything's just 1. So the numbers have to do with when you build on them, some stuff you'll see later. But okay, so I think I could use more tiles, but I also kind of want to start at the end of the game. You're going to score sections or districts. And so districts, like this would be a district because these three are connected. This two blue tiles would be a district because they're connected. Has to be at least, you know, 2 tiles, and they can't be connected just diagonally either. Those aren't connected. So this isn't even a district. That's by itself. So that wouldn't score anything. Neither would this right now. So, but anyway, I kind of need more. All I can do is place the tiles that I got here. So it doesn't really matter too much. So I think I'll build on L. So I'm going to be using this card, this L card. It allows me to build here on L, and then I can scooch L either here, build out, or build, you know, wherever I want to build the next tile. I'll just do that. And then I have to place a marker. You always put one of your markers on there based on how many tiles there are there. So just 1 in this case. Then I have to put a little construction marker on there because eventually we're going to be adding this card to the cards that we can draw next time we have to shuffle. Then you activate the tiles adjacent to it. So I'm going to get 1 tile randomly. I'll draw that one. Got a yellow 20. That's the big one. Okay, this is upside down. All right, so I picked the 1 card I played and I discard it along with the other cards. See what Hal does. So Hal is going to build on the blue 1. He's going to place this tile on blue. Hal's pretty easy. So Hal's already over here, kibitzing on the goods. So we're going to place that right there. Now it's 2 tiles high, so tiles, yeah, has to place 2 markers, and again, this little construction thing. And then whenever you build up, you get to keep the thing. And Hal, it doesn't give him these powers, but Hal could possibly score end game scoring for that. So we're gonna put that off to the side for Hal. And now that was the gist of a round right there. That's it. I mean, that's the whole thing, but you'll see there's more to come. Okay, so here we go. I can build out on B or D or build up on the 2. So I am looking at, so B or D. So D is kind of, oh, you know what? Now I totally spaced out, right? Because I forgot to activate my, I'm blabbering away here. But when I built out there, I also activated this power. So I get this 1 victory point, and I got an extra tile. There we go. All right. The benefits to taking advantage of these early powers I've got here. So I think I'm going to build out on D, because again, it plays to my strength here. And if I build out on D, I'll just go, I think I'll move it up this time like that. I'm going to place this red 18 here. Because now I've started taking control of this district. Basically, at the end of the game, whoever has most markers on a district will score the most points. Oops. Come on. Yeah. Oh my gosh. There we go. All right, so that's up, and then I activate the tile next to it, which gets me another marker. See, Hal has never-ending supply of his markers. Never has to get them before he can play them. I have to actually get them in my supply before I can place them out on the board. But then I also activate this whole thing again. So I get another victory point and another tile, and my turn is done. Didn't use the other cards, and I didn't build up, so I want to keep the card. Hal goes. Hal is going to build on blue 3, placing this at 15. So blue 3, there goes that. Hal is just very easy. Now normally, you have to follow this general rule where you have to place the number of markers as tall as the tile stack is. But like if I try to do this, if ever you place a tile and that number is greater than the one underneath it, you don't have to pay a penalty. So this would go there. But whenever you switch colors, I would have to discard one of my markers to the general supply as a penalty for switching colors. But Hal doesn't worry about that sort of nonsense. So Hal goes there, and Hal again keeps this card for possible endgame scoring. I draw up again, and Hal draws, and Hal gets a tile. And okay, let's see here. I can build out on A or I, or I can build up on 1. A up there, that would get me a couple more tiles. I's right here, that would get me some victory points. Thinking I'm liking A. So I've got this blue 6 that I could put there. So start getting in on some of Hal's action there. So there's that. I have a marker. Put that there. And then I activate this building here, which allows me to get 2 tiles. So 1, 2. And then, of course, I get my extra goodies here. I think I'll throw 2 of these 1s away and get the 3. Then I get 1 more tile. I'm tile rich this particular game. Okay, and then I would, discard the A along with the cards I didn't use. Flip this over. Now I'll be playing Hal on expert level because it'll help compensate for this extra bonus stuff that I got. So whenever Hal's on expert, whenever he gets one of these build out, he always draws another card. And then if he drew a card that allowed him to build up, he would just automatically build up. But if he gets another one of these, he just looks to see what will score him the most points. So E, if he builds out on E, what will happen, place a tile, and then it'll just score victory points when he activates the buildings next to it. Doesn't get any, more markers or any more tiles, just gets victory points in place of everything. So you get 2 points for placing E. G would only get 1 point because it would only activate this 1 tile next to it. So it's going to build out on E with this tile. And then this, we have to scooch this. We get to pick, if there's a choice, we get to pick where the next tile would build off of that. But activates that. There's that. Gets that. These construction markers will make sense here in a second for you. It's the only part of the game I haven't explained really. But then activates those 2 buildings, so it's just going to get 2 points. So Hal gets first couple of points. Put those right over there for Hal. All right, done. So now, what would happen? Now I want to draw 3 cards, can't. So now what we do is this discard stack, we're going to reshuffle it. But first, we're going to add in all the cards that are going to represent these tiles, these new tiles we just put out. So those are right up here. These stacks of yellow, red, and blue. So I need to grab a blue 6, blue 12. So I'll go in here. We need the blue 6. And then a blue 12. And then, so those are the blues, right? So blue 6, blue 12. We'll take those construction markers off. Those are completed. Now we need a red 5 and a red 18 and a red 15. So we got out of the stack. This is just the stack is from 4 all the way down to 20 here. So I just in order so I can find them real easy. So what did I say? 5, 15, and 18. Okay. And then, so we'll take these markers off. And lastly, a yellow 13. There we have it. Okay. Now these, the cards, you'll notice, like if we take a look at just the general anatomy, from 4 to 9, it's all these little black arrows, which are tableau building powers. But then once you get to 10 and beyond, if I can show you 10 and beyond, it starts showing these little equal signs. These are cards, if you build on those, that you'll score. They score end game victory points. So 10 through 20 are all end game scoring stuff. But the early cards allow you to build up your tableau. And that goes for all these colors. All right, so I got added the cards there. And notice as you build on top of things, you keep the cards, like Hal was when he was building on top of stuff, keeps the cards, which takes them basically out of circulation. And then you're going to add the card to representing the tile you put on that. So this blue 1 is out of circulation. Now this blue 12 is in its place. And you'll possibly be able to draw it as I'll take this deck, I'll shuffle it up, and discard 7. And then I'll start the process again, and I'll keep playing. All right, so I shuffle those up. I discarded 7 here. Holy moly. Looking through there, I can see we're not going to be building out much. Going to be building up, looks like. So And you can play it to where you can only see the top card or whatever, but if you discard them one at a time, it doesn't tell you have to discard 7 at a time. So anyway, I will keep drawing here. There's my 3, and then finally we fill up how. There's that. I take a look here. All right, so I can build on 2, 12, or 15. Building on 2, I would maybe use this 10, or I could switch it over to red. Red's turned into a huge district here. So very generally, when at the end of the game, this is going to be there's going to be stuff built up and built out a little bit more, and then what you'll do at the end game scoring is, well, first you'll check out the cards and you'll score those like I was just showing. But then the other main way that you score points is here, like this red district. It's connected. This one's not connected to anything. This won't score anything. My marker here would be useless, score me no points. But this red one here, or even this blue one here, you look to see who has the most markers. I got 1. Hal has 2. Now if I was tied and I had 2 and Hal had 2, then you look whoever has the highest numbered tile. I would win in this case. I would be in the 18, so I would win the tie. And then whoever has the most markers, or wins the tie, scores all the markers on that district. So I would, in this case, again, Hal has the most. So Hal would get 1, 2, 3, scores all the markers. I, being second place, would only score my own markers. So I would get 1 victory point. So for this red district, Hal would get 3, I would get 1. Same would go for this blue district right here, right now. Doesn't matter how many tiles it's made of, you just score the actual markers. So keeping that in mind, that changes your strategy as far as how you're building out there. So blue 2, blue 12, red 15. This is kind of in the middle of nowhere unless I changed it to red 12. Now I could build on Hal's tile there, and this is actually, I think I'll do this just to show a solid example of how, like when you're building up, it can get a little involved. So it's really easy. But if I want to build on there, I know I'm going to be placing a third tile. So I need to have at least 3 markers in my supply. I do. Now, I only have blue. I only have this tile, this 10. And I want to keep it blue so that I can make this my own. So what I'll do is, to build on there, I have to give Hal back his markers. For every marker I displace, Hal gets a couple points. And the same too if Hal ever displaces me. So he gets 2 victory points for me displacing him. Now I'm going to place this 10. Now this 10 is not higher than this 12. So I have to pay the difference in victory points. So I have to pay 2 victory points. So not only do I have to have these 3 markers, but I have to have at least 2 victory points to pay. So I'm doing that. If I had placed a number higher than 12, no matter what it is, just higher, I'd not have to pay that penalty, but I did in this case. Now I have to place 3 of my markers because it's 3 stacks tall. And I put a little construction thing. There we go. And then I get to keep. Now I get to keep this 12. This is going to be an end game scoring. I'm going to score 1 point for all markers on yellow tiles. So that's a good one. And then I'll discard these. And so that is how a more complicated build goes there. And what's great about this is if this stays this way to the end of the game, which it's not, but if it did, then I would score, because I'm the only one on this district, I score double. So I'd get 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2. I'd get 8 points. Hal would get nothing. So if you can completely rule a district, you score lots of points. Anyway, let's see what Hal was going to do here. Hal is going to be building up on 3. And so where's 3? There's 3. Hal places a couple markers. There we go. A little construction again. Because again, what's going to happen is we're going to go through this deck and we're going to have to reshuffle. You reshuffle usually about 4 times in the average game. And but there, Hal is done. And Hal's really taking over this red district, unfortunately, and he gets to keep this as a possible in-game scoring. And round after round after round we go. And I'll keep playing here. and at least show you how the end game scoring goes. Oh, real quick, you know, my very next hand I looked at, see, I'm out of markers, so I don't have any, I can't. So the other thing, the other power, or the other action, the third action you can do is discard a card. And if you discard one of these build out, these green cards, then you can get either one of your markers or a tile. That goes for all of them, or you can activate a stack. So I could look at this. I would get a number of markers according to how tall the stack of tiles is. So I look at 5. 5 is right there. It's just one stack high. That's not great. So I would, if I discarded this, I'd get 1, and I wouldn't get to keep the card either. You only get to keep it if you build actually on it. So, but I have this little power here that says if I discard a card, I get an extra marker. So I'm going to be discarding one of these and choosing the marker, and then with my power I'm going to end up getting 2 markers. And so not a super strong play there, but hey, now I got some markers to work with on my next turn. All right, so this could be the last turn of the game because Hal's down to one marker there. And Hal, when you play Hal on Expert, he gets tons of cards out. Look at all that. That's gonna be all end game scoring stuff. Yikes! I have 2 cards end game scoring. I could discard one of these and get a new hand, but these will be worth 2 points each for me at the end of the game if I don't use them. I haven't used any of them. Anyway, so I think what I'm going to do to try and slow him down, I'm going to take that marker. So I'm not going to use these. I'm going to build on this 20 because this is going to give me 9 points. But well. So yeah, so building on this 20, I think I'll build this yellow 20. So I do that. Hal is going to get 1 point, and now possibly another marker. If he builds out, then he won't end the game. Just depends on what that is. But to do this, so 20 and 20 match up, which is nice, but I'm switching colors, so I have to discard a marker as a penalty. I place this 2 on here. Construction there. That's nice too, because he had full control of that blue. It was blue. He would have gotten 2, 3, 6 points. Would have scored double. Now I've just shut that down, and I've added to my yellow district here. And I think Aaron said, you know, if you ever tie, first it's the tallest building, and then if it's tied for tallest building, then you look at the highest numbered building. But anyway, so that's nice. And then for this 20, now I get to add, this is just basically worth 9 points for me at the end of the game. So that's good. Let's see how Hal responds. If I manage to stop him, oh, it's going to draw. So whenever it draws that, it's going to build up on 2. So whenever it can build, Hal, and again, this is just because I'm playing on Expert that this happens. So 2. So right here, Hal builds. And that's going to do it. Because, yep, there's the 2 markers. And there goes that. That's a bit of a bummer because that shut me out. I was going to score 4 points there, but now he's kibitzed in on that. That's not going to score me anything, and now he's added to his blue position. All right, well, now it's time for final scoring. And I've got 18 here points that I've managed to accrue. Oh, he gets this as well. But yeah, at the end of a round where one of us is out of markers or there's no tiles, so we're there. He's got 11 to start with. So, jeez, let's go ahead and do this first. Let's look and see. So what this means, he's going to score 2 points for every card in his tableau that has this build up power. And here's one for building out. And yeah, okay, so that is, let's score those. So for every build up power and every build out, it's going to get 2 points. So he's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 10 points for those cards alone. Then, all right, so let's do, does he have more than one of those? No, so this one just means it's going to score the number of his tokens on stacks of 3 tiles or higher. It's going to get, well, he gets 3 points for stacks of 3 or higher. So this one's a stack of 3 or higher. So you're going to get 3 points for that, 3 points for that. Basically, yeah, so 6 points for that card. And then here, so 2 2 or less gets 1 point. So that's basically all the other ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. Ugh. So we'll give them 10, take this 1 back. Lastly, it's going to get 1 point for each marker on blue or yellow. So blue or yellow, so not that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 points. Holy moly. That was terrible. Oh, also 10. Oh my gosh. That couldn't have gone better for him, I don't think. So there's the end game. So now where are we at? He's at 10, 20, we got 40, 51, 55 points to my 23. So now I'm going to score my end game scoring cards. So I get 9 for this one. And then 1 for each on, well, let's do this one. So 9 then for all of my 3 stacks or higher. So I got 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, geez. That's not good. So 12 and then 1 for each on these yellow tiles. Well, that shouldn't be too bad. Let's say 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So these guys did score a little bit there, 23. We won't hear in a second. They get the right 23. All right, so here's my 23 points. So we have scored our end game. I am at, oh, not good. I'm at 41. What did I say? It was at 50 something. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Gonna not score. This doesn't score because it's by itself. This doesn't score because it's by itself. This doesn't score. It's by itself. This doesn't score. It's by itself. Not you. Not you. There we go. So, for this yellow district, Hal's going to get 1, 2, 3. I'm going to get 1. Great. Now for this district, this yellow district here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I definitely got the most. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm going to get 13 points. We like that. 13. Now let's do this and this. Okay. Oh, we got ourselves 10 right here. Okay, there we go. I was just making change there, so I'm now at 55, but 13, so he's going to get 4 points, so we'll just take this 1. Gonna get 5, oh no, changes 5 in, a couple of 5s in for a 10. Okay, so that takes care of this district here is done. Oh, this doesn't score anything. Oh no, yeah, it does, it does. So, yeah. Oh, this is the last one, and this is where I die horribly, because what we got: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 plus 6 is gonna be 20 to my 3. Oh, all right. There it is. There's the final scoring. I got, what, 58 to 76. Yeah, I got whooped on pretty good due to, well, heck, one of those, didn't you get like 19 points for one of these end game cards there? So one too many end game cards. I don't know. I got whooped up though. But that is how a game of solo Ginkopolis goes, and how to get your butt smashed. I did a very good job, thank you. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, I'm Board Game Rants, and I'm out.